In this short span of time, you have been able to make a mark, make a brand for yourself.
For a student, there are two things which are important. One is intelligence.
How was 2024 year defining moment in the journey of Stellar Academy?
This year we gave toppers of Goa in all three. So now students and parents, they have more faith on us because the competition is growing. The number of students who are participating in competitive exams, those are also growing. Let me tell you, stress is not bad.
Hello and welcome to a very special episode of Goa Connect. I wouldn't be wrong if I say that my guest today on the show writes the destinies of the students, but with equal efforts from the students as well. If I may recollect, Supas Sodankar, Tarun Kumar, Alaya Dikruz, Vaishnavi Potekar, Anand Kerur, Kushi Katoli, Abida Barreto. I think these are the names that are superstars in their Hall of Fame, especially in their academy. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my guest for today's show, Yogendra Singh sir, founder and director of Stellar Academy. Sir, there are, in my field, whenever we see news or whenever we cover, there are habitual offenders. You are a habitual performer. If I may start that conversation, because the kind of performance that you have given for this particular year, how do you look at this performance of yours and what keeps you so energetic, so smiling and very enthusiastic?
Basically, we do extreme hard work with our students and we teach them for 2 years thoroughly. And during the teaching also, we keep assessing them that how they are doing. And assessment is of various types. We assess them for chapter wise also. We assess them for 15 days also. That within 15 days how they have done. We assess them for 3 months also. So basically we keep them on their toes all the time so that they don't forget also, because 2 years is a long period. If they don't revise, if they are not assessed, then they won't be able to recollect it and they won't be able to retain it.
Correct.
So it's a whole process, and in which students and parents are supporting us a lot. So with our team of teachers and support of parents and students, we are able to give the result which you were mentioning.
So I think, if I may recollect my, academic years when I could not make it into engineering and medical. Obviously, I was not ever competitive at that particular front. But there are friends of mine who, eventually became doctors and engineers. That era, I'm talking about maybe 20, 25 year odd back, that era was way different than today, because it is a lot of competition that has happened, yes, in the state as well, and also at the national level. I really want to understand is, you are such a young brand. You started in 2019, we are here in 2024. In this short span of time, you have been able to make a mark, make a brand for yourself. And today, the first brand that comes to my mind when we speak of competitive exam and especially medical or engineering, the Stellar is the first thing that hits you. How do you define this particular aspect of yours as well?
Basically, the important thing is to be honest with what you are doing. So when you take your work seriously, you put your 24/7 brain behind it, you take people along with you, all stakeholders which are there, then you are able to get such result. So persistence is needed, hard work is needed, and thinking different from what others are doing, that also is needed.
So you want to say is you don't have any magical wand. On the contrary, you have such great students who have given 101%, I would say. And also with the support and guidance from your faculty, especially you and your entire management, is what makes it is, I believe, two to tango.
Here I want to add a little bit in this. See, for a student, there are two things which are important. One is intelligence. So normally people consider that someone who is extremely intelligent, who studies less and getting result as brilliant. But in my opinion, at the end of the day, what matters is what you have achieved in life. So if a student can be brilliant, extraordinary, but if student is not able to use his potential, then that potential is of not much use for the society and for the student also. So what we do basically is we identify students who are sincere, who are willing to work hard, even if they are not that sharp brain wise. But with them, when we work hard, then they are able to produce such result.
Okay.
So it is not that someone who is, a topper from the day one is continuing to be the topper till the last day or in tops in the exam. Topper can be from any student out of 8-10 students which we identify during the course of preparation. And out of those, we work hard with everyone. But over the period of time, with their efforts, with their consistency, with their uh, persistence of efforts, we are able to get those 8-10 students who really do well. And out of those 8-10s, you are unable to decide that who will be the topper at that day. So that
Okay.
is the most crucial part. You cannot bet on one student.
I think it is not about the destination or the goal that you come with. I think it is the journey that makes it very, very special for all the students. And of course, I said two, but I think it takes three pillars. It's you, it's the students, and also the parents' support.
Yes,
So I think
yes.
it's a classic triangle that takes you to the success. You've outshined at JEE, NEET में आपने कमाल कर दिया, high secondary के result में भी कमाल कर दिया. You know how I really want to understand is how was the moment? Because I remember we had a conversation couple of weeks prior to the results were out, and you were very confident. Though you said, it depends upon how, there is 1% of luck that also involves. But you were quite confident with respect to, the performance of the students. And you you stood to the word, you stuck to that word. And I think when the results came out, I think when we understood that, you have had this amazing performance, we were really joyous to be part of the celebrations as well. For you and your team, and especially the students, how was 2024 year defining moment in the journey of Stellar Academy?
See, 2024 was extremely special year for us. Reason is, earlier we were giving toppers of Goa in one exam or some other exam. But this year we gave toppers of Goa in all three. We gave topper of JE, we gave topper of NEET, we gave topper of BITSET. All three coming from a single institute. That was a rare thing for Goa. But this year we achieved that, and we also felt that now we are, a brand of all three. Earlier what people used to label us is that, okay, you are a brand of one part or another part. But now they know that we have given result for boards also. We have given board toppers for 2 years. We have given NEET toppers for 2 years. We have given BITSET topper for this year. We have given JEE mains topper for this year. We have given overall best result in selection wise for this year. So now students and parents, they have more faith on us. Because earlier a little bit of doubt was there that whether they'll be able to do good in all exams or not. So that doubt is removed. So that's why we are happy.
So now your performance is multidisciplinary, I believe.
Yes.
Okay, you are preparing students for as a holistic approach towards a competitive exam. I really want to understand is the psyche of a students, because now there have been recent news that the academic year has been shifting to the CBSE style. April, man, there is a lot of hue and cry right from the psychology of a student. How will the students cope up with respect to climate, XYZ factors, especially the parents? There are a lot of things that we are discussing for the last couple of weeks with respect to education in Goa. I really want to understand is when a student comes to your academy, what is the approach or what is the high point that you make a student comfortable? Because I really understand that it might be any age group. Adjustment is really important. Getting comfortable with the faculty and also the peers is very, very important. So how different is life in Stellar Academy vis-a-vis other academy or maybe a general schooling that a child might be going through? What is that USP for you?
See, we basically work on how a student progresses. And if you, in one word, if you want to explain coaching industry, basically it is capacity building. A student who is in 10th standard, for them there is one book of science.
Correct.
And that one book of science becomes 2 books of physics, 2 books of chemistry, and 2 books of bio or maths, depending upon which stream they are choosing. So suddenly there is a drastic jump. And student, if they continue to have the habits the way they were studying till 10th, if they continue with that, then they face find themselves in a tough position and they face difficulty in progressing. So we understand that. So what we do basically is initially when they are moving from 10th to 11th, we go a bit slow. We teach them what they have already studied in 10th so that their base becomes extremely strong. And using that base, because now their base is ready, we keep increasing their speed. Speed means how they are, suppose initially one chapter we take more time because they were in 10th now earlier and now they have moved to 11th. So initial speed is lesser, but once they have developed their strength, academic, you can say physique, academic physique, though it's not a technically proper word, but once they develop that, then we can move with difficult level questions also and a little bit extra speed also. So that's how we progress, because initially they need to have confidence. Correct. Otherwise what do they feel is that it suddenly becomes too much for them and then they feel lost, and many students give up also. Correct. Thinking that it is out of their capacity, so beyond their level, so they give up also. So what we instill in them is the confidence that you can do, and then take them along with us.
Correct. So you said capacity of a student, and whether it is intellect or whether we want to quantify it in any language, that it differs from student to student. There are what I have seen in general life is there are two kind of students. One is a student who has been pushed by their parents with a lot of pressure that आपको भाई साहब ये करना है, you have to achieve कि मेरा बेटा इंजीनियर बनेगा, मेरा बेटा डॉक्टर बनेगा. And the other person is whether I am not going to the financial aspect of these two cases. The other student is कि उसको करना है, लेकिन there sometimes is not support from the parents, whether it is financial or even emotional for that matter. The child doesn't get ample amount of opportunity or exposure for that matter with respect to the school that he is into, or maybe which academy to choose, or some institutions like you, how to go about. These two cases are very classic cases of as you look forward to. I really want to give you, I mean, you should be giving an advice to all the viewers who are watching, whether it is parents, students, or even academic faculties, how to motivate a student, or rather encourage a student to take up competitive exam. For that, you'll have to identify the skills of the students, and also maybe mentor him over a course of time. What is that one advice that you would like to give to all the students or parents or my viewers who are watching, so that they encourage the students accordingly?
See, the first thing is to identify that whether a student has liking for the subject or not. Here, no, I am not talking about intelligence. Importance is the liking for the subject. If a student is willing to work hard, then what parents should do is, suppose if someone is not financially good, nowadays exams and competitions are shifting towards NCERT. So the important part is they should learn through NCERT well, but for certain subjects NCERT is not enough. You need help of coachings also, and because the competition is growing, the number of students who are participating in competitive exams, those are also growing, and you need to be better than them. So for some time you need to take help of coaching.
Correct.
But for that, if suppose someone does not have that money or any other resource, then you can talk to certain people who are in that industry, and certain time people, when they understand that okay, the person is really keen on learning, then they support also. So for a deserving student, for a student who is really keen to work hard, I don't think resources will be an issue.
Okay, I think what you're trying to say is also you have to identify the Raju, Farhan, and the Rancho of the students that come to you, right, and have. I really want to ask you is stress plays a very important role. I whenever I remember my academic years, I really get scared remembering how I was managing with respect to there are a lot of things that I was maybe lazy with respect to understanding the academics, but there's a lot of stress that goes whether you are a topper or whether you are a backbencher. How do you manage stress, especially when it comes to competitive exam, when you have limited time, you have to perform, you have to give it your best. It's maybe one of your shot that takes you to glory. And there's a lot of pressure also from your parents and sometimes from the academies also, because as you rightly said, there are you might have identified 8 or 10 students. So I'm aware that I'm one of the students. I really want to give my best. How does a student manage stress, especially your student who is studying at your academy?
See, here, let me tell you, though I mentioned that word that we identify, but when I am saying identification, it is not like, we are telling student that
Okay.
you are the one.
Hmm.
But what we do basically is we see that, okay, such and such student is working hard, such and such is putting more efforts, such and such is really keen in clearing their doubts and visiting us and asking how to do better, how to do better. So all these things, give us a very good idea that which all students can do better. But again, let me tell you, stress is not bad. Stress,
There should be
usually we feel that stress is bad.
Huh.
A little bit of stress is needed, but it should not be too much. It should not be too much, and we should not pressurize a student to do much better. What I tell students, my students basically in the class, that whatever you have done in this test, try to be a little bit better in the next test. Don't compete with someone else, because their journey is different. Their circumstances are different.
Correct.
That brain level, family support is different. So we all are, running in parallel worlds, but you try to be better than yourself, which is today in the upcoming test. And even if you are not able to do that due to some reason, then again we restart the same story, same process in the next test.
Okay.
Consistently strive to be better. So if you keep on doing that within a period of 1 year, 2 years, you will be finding that you have achieved really a lot, and your level of learning, level of understanding, the qualities which you have inculcated during this time, those qualities will help you throughout the life. See, not every successful person is a doctor or engineer, and other streams are also equally successful and important in the society. They are also playing a major role in the society. The qualities which are needed for a person to be successful: honesty, sincerity, determination, perseverance, hard work. If you develop that, whichever field you will choose, you will be successful.
I think what you're trying to say is you can identify certain skills of a student and maybe then guide and push for the optimal output or result. But post that, I think that's his or her journey post that competitive exam. I think if you are able to crack it and not able to sustain it, then also it's an issue, because then you're not able to reach to a final ultimate goal.
See, nowadays, because competition is increasing, we need to be extremely sensitive that our expectations are not putting, over extra pressure or overburden on the student, and because of which they are feeling, more suffocated. So that is what is important. And as a coaching, we take care of that. We don't say any student that, okay, you are going to be the topper or you need to be the topper. In our mind, we know that, okay, this can be a prospective candidate, but we never tell a student that, okay, you need to be the topper. Why?
Okay.
Because that puts an extra pressure on the student. And in certain situations, certain circumstances, students are not able to handle that. So we don't want to be that reason.
Okay, we're talking about stress, pressure, and I think this question is quite relevant to you because you've seen that life very closely. We always used to say that mecca of education or competitive exam is quota. Entire economy is been run or used to be run by the coaching industry. I believe now that the story is changing over a course of time. What we are given to understand from the newspaper clippings or maybe from the television media is also. That has come down. The things have changed, and I think today people are not going to a cluster where there is education everywhere, or maybe I don't know whether it was hype or it was genuine thing, but over a course of time it also got commercialized. I remember we had this conversation couple of years back, and you had a different opinion where you advocated that education here in Goa or in your area is something that should be encouraged to. How are you seeing this shift? Because I think this is something. There are a couple of things that you have identified that these are the problem with the coaching industry, and this will have a repercussion in the next coming years. Whether it is education, online education that was there, or maybe quota. How are you looking at this transformation, and how can Goa generally benefit from this?
See, first of all, why there is problem in quota? See, in this industry, as you were earlier mentioning, there are three stakeholders: teachers, students,
parents.
and parents.
Yeah.
And all three play equal important role. If a teacher is not teaching, how a student will be gaining the knowledge?
Correct.
If a student is not willing to work hard or not
will
paying
he
attention,
perform?
then there is no scope for result also.
Hmm.
Now the role of the parent is also equally important. If a parent is observing that, okay, due to some reason, for this week or for this 15 days, student has not studied much, then they can, give their input also, that
Correct.
why you are not able to study, or bring that student to us, because student himself or herself won't come,
Correct.
because they also have the guilt that they have not studied. So the role of parent is extremely important, and that role is not there in quota. And
I think they are alone there.
for those people who are in quota, a student is just a number which is adding in their pocket. Any person, whether it is a landlord or a coaching industry or a bookseller or any rickshawala,
It is
for
a
them
number.
a student is a customer and they want maximum out of it. So that's why quota is going down. That is the reason. They didn't treat students as kids. They didn't treat them as, their own kids, that who, if they are not doing well.
There is no emotional bonding,
Yes,
basically.
emotional
what you're-
bonding was missing.
Okay.
And that happens because of, years of commercialization. It happens.
So, but then again, you are at a very crucial junction where you can develop yourself, or rather, Goa can develop itself as an educational hub. Not maybe replicating what Kota has done, but then again giving an inclusive education to all the students who are interested in competitive exam.
Earlier what was happening is Kota was the only place, or
Correct.
one or two more
Correct.
places were there. So they were attracting best of the students also,
Now it's-
and best of the teachers also. Now good teachers are available at various places across India. Now Kota cannot say we have the monopoly over best students or best teachers, and that's why they are not able to perform also. If you see the toppers of any competition,
Yeah.
now it is not monopoly of Kota that every time student from Kota is giving the best result. So because parents are also realizing, they are also, in nowadays, every parent has hardly one or two kids.
Correct.
For them, their
The best,
kids' result is extremely important,
Yeah.
and they don't want to take any chance.
Okay.
So that's why they keep student in front of them. Do whatever you are doing.
They want to
in
be
front
part of the journey.
Yes,
they want to see that
yes.
transformation. You said monopoly, and I wouldn't know if I'm right using the word monopoly because because the kind of performance that we have seen in a very short span of time, the academic results that you have outperformed a lot of peers in your industry, especially here in Goa. You have said this many a times. Obviously, it is student, it is the faculty, it is the parent support also, and the willingness to give the best. How do you look at this entire journey and set a benchmark with respect to 2025 and the years to come? Because as I said, sir, you are a habitual performer and you would like to outperform yourself first. Forget about the competition that is around. How are you seeing 2025 as another strategic year post the Magnus performance that you guys did in 2024, now in 2025, and looking forward for maybe another couple of years ahead?
See, when this year we got all three toppers. Now it is not just students who are keen to do better.
Yeah.
Our teachers are also willing to work better, and they have worked really hard, and they have incorporated some more things, which will definitely lead to better result next year. So we are hopeful for this year's result also. And I won't say the word monopoly,
Yeah.
but it is good to be a consistent performer with your efforts and efforts of the other stakeholders also.
I wouldn't know if you have a great smile or whether you're trying to overcome the stress, because a little bit of stress is really important, as you rightly said in earlier question. I think that little bit of stress is important for Stellar Academy and student and also entire faculty to perform better and get the best out of it.
Actually, I tell students that whatever stress you have, you give it to us, because we are professionals. We are
Correct.
trained to handle that.
Okay.
So for us, it is needed. For our students and parents to be more comfortable, they need to give their stress to us, and we need to handle that stress for them.
Okay,
So,
sir, it was pleasure to have you as always. I think Yogendra Sikarwar, sir, is not just the founder and the director of Stellar Academy, or maybe the principal and chief mentor of Stellar High Secondary School of Excellence. I think for a lot of people around that know him personally, he's more than a friend to them. And as he ended up the question saying that, if you have stress, that is what he tells the students, that, if you have stress, please give it to us so that we can jointly work and get the best out of it. I really want to end this program, but I think I really want to wish you best for this academic year, that is 2025. Fingers crossed that we sit again for
yes.
another interview with a lot of mithais and laddus around, celebrating another year after such a splendid performance of 2024. But before you leave, sir, there's a small appreciation or token of love that we'd like to give from our side for this wonderful journey that you have had, a wonderful performance. This is not just the award for you, but also to the students, to parents, and the entire faculty, that we'd like to give it on behalf of Prudent, and wish you all the best for the years to come. And may Stellar grow leaps and bounds and become a huge brand in education, which we all can be proud of, and especially me, because I've been part of this journey ever since I think 2019.
Yes.
So it'll make me very, very special. So pleasure it was to have you, sir. Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir. Thank you, sir.